It's 8 a.m. right now as the latest winter storm to hit Wisconsin weekends. Thousands are now digging out, plus tips on how to stay safe.
And just as the snow clears out of our area, the temperatures will plummet. I'll have the full forecast on just how cold it will get coming up.
Plus, residents are without gas in Beloit following a leak and fire on Friday, what city officials are saying this hour. Good morning and thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings. I'm Kyle Pazorski. It is Saturday, January 13th. Let's begin this morning by taking a live look outside. This is from the WISC-TV sky camera. A 1-2 punch is what our first warn weather team tells us as the snow leaves. Frigid temps are right behind moving in. Jacob Madison standing by with what our day ahead is going to be like. Jacob, how are you doing out there on the patio?
Doing pretty good. I'm a big fan of the snow, and it's still snowing at this hour. We may continue to see some snow today, but the bigger story today will be the drifting snow and the falling temperatures. But before I talk about that, let's take a look at some of the snowfall reports that we've seen so far. Now, if you notice, these reports aren't isolated to one area. These reports are scattered from the southwestern portion of the state up north, also to the northeast. So pretty much our entire region saw plenty of snowfall out of this system. And here's a look at some of the reports across Dane County. A lot of areas reporting around 10 inches. The Madison airport reported 7.3 as of 6 p.m. last night. So my guess is that number is a little bit higher. Now, as you look at the current radar, still seeing some snowfall, especially for Dane County and areas to the east. Now, it is possible we could see an additional inch of snow, mainly for Jefferson and Dodge counties, maybe down south to Rock County as well. But for the most part, most of the snow today will be in the form of blowing snow, which could create some snow-covered roads even after the snow is done falling. So just be prepared that the blowing snow is still expected. And here's a look at the current road conditions. The pink are snow-covered and the blue are slippery, but most of the area are seeing some snow-covered roads. And these obviously don't show the side streets. The side streets are definitely snow-covered at this hour. Now, as we look at the winter weather bulletins, we are still under a winter weather advisory until noon due to the blowing snow. So here's a look at the forecast throughout the morning. Only some light snow showers and flurries are expected. Not really going to see much in the form of falling snow. And as we get into the afternoon and evening, we still may see some light snow, but again, it's not going to be very heavy. We should be dry by tomorrow. But also by tomorrow, we're going to see much colder temperatures. I'll have the full forecast on just how cold the temperatures will get coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We'll check back in just a bit. Now, as we continue to cover the latest snowstorm affecting Wisconsin, a reminder, if you have a sidewalk in front of your home, you are responsible for clearing it. In Madison, the city says today could be the deadline to clear snow from the sidewalks, depending on when the snow stops. With temperatures soon dropping into the single digits and below, it's in your best interest to do it sooner rather than later. A News 3 Now crew caught up with some snow shovelers Friday afternoon who did not miss the workout.
This sucks. This sucks. The wet snow is a heart attack snow, and the rest of it's just a lot of snow. So it's no fun.
I'd have to agree there. Free sand is available at several locations around Madison to help you protect your property this winter. To see where, just visit cityofmadison.com. And for snow removal regulations in other parts of the state, be sure to check with your local government. On the other side of this storm is the frigid cold stretch, which will be hard on your vehicles. AAA recommends making sure your tires are inflated properly and have plenty of tread during the colder months. The rims could start to corrode, causing your tires to deflate, and also should not have anything less than a half a tank of fuel in your car at any time. And don't use cruise control at all while it's snowing or when icy conditions are present. Lastly, keep an eye on keep an emergency kit of cold weather gear in your car while you're going out anywhere. Anyway, speaking of cars, our photojournalist Mark Schilling is out on the live drive duties this morning. Mark, we're going to try to see if you are there.
Hey, okay, we had a little connection problem. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you, Mark. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'm on Verona Road right now, going out towards Verona, and it's about half and half snow covered. Maybe it's getting towards that blue of just being slippery. But yeah, earlier this morning, this was totally snow covered. So the plows are doing their work, trying to stay ahead of the snowflakes that have been flying all morning and creating snowpacks on even the main streets. When I was on Raymond Road, it was just flat snow, but you were able to drive on top of it as long as you take it slow and easy. And I'll do a little turnaround and then check out some other roads like the Beltline a little later on.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate you being out there driving in these kinds of conditions this morning. We'll check back in just a bit. And now we're going to take a look at some other road conditions. This is a map provided by the Wisconsin DOT. Got some conditions out of Mount Horeb and kind of in the Rock County area, Janesville as well, are ice covered. That's the red lines there on the map. The blue lines are snow covered, and in the Madison area, you can kind of see a little bit closer down on the Beltline and everything. It says slippery stretches according to the DOT. So again, we will check back on those conditions as our show moves on this morning. Following up now on some news out of Beloit, where more than 850 homes were left without gas service Friday night. Alliant Energy officials say a gas leak prompted that service to be shut off. At this hour, city officials are saying you should check your doors for a note if you still don't have gas, and it will have a number to call for any servicing. It was early on Friday where a large fire broke out at a building storing tires, causing hazardous air conditions. Residents in the area were then evacuated to a nearby elementary school.
First reaction was get out of town. Go ahead, and I am familiar with a store over there, so I knew that the fire wasn't going to extinguish itself at all anytime soon. So we go ahead and pack the kids up and get them out of here.
The fire was contained. The focus later shifted to that gas leak, which has also been taken care of at this time. However, again, since the service was shut off, Alliant Energy crews are required to go home to home to light each customer's pilot light before it can come back on. All right, switching gears to an update now from the state capitol. On Friday, a Wisconsin judge ruled Megan Wolf, the state's top elections official, is legally holding her position. It's a defeat for Republicans who for months have tried to remove Wolf from her role with the Wisconsin Elections Commission. Wolf has been the subject of conspiracies and targeted by election deniers who falsely claim she was part of a plot to rig the 2020 election in favor of President Joe Biden. Senate Republicans voted to fire Wolf in September, but Republicans later admitted in court rulings the vote to fire Wolf was symbolic and had no legal effect. The life of former U.S. Senator and Milwaukee Bucks owner Herb Kohl was celebrated Friday afternoon during a public memorial at Pfizer Forum. President Joe Biden remembers Kohl fondly, saying in part, quote, "Herb Kohl was one of the finest people I've served with, a kind and principled man of integrity and character, one of Wisconsin's greatest ever advocates, and a dear friend." Herb Kohl died last month at the age of 88 following a brief illness. Looking overseas, a U.S. official has confirmed to CBS News that the U.S. struck another Houthi radar site early this morning in Houthi-controlled territory in Yemen. After a strike earlier this week, Houthi leaders said American aggression will not go unpunished and that attacks in the Red Sea will continue. CBS News correspondent Willie James Inman reports from Washington.
Iran-backed Houthi militants are vowing to retaliate after American forces led a multinational airstrike on the rebel group in Yemen. The coalition bombardment came in response to weeks of Houthi drone and missile attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea, a vital trade route. President Joe Biden was asked Friday if he thinks the mission was a success.
Yes. I don't think there's any civilian casualties. That's another reason why it's a success.
Amid concerns of a widening conflict in the region, the president addressed whether the U.S. is now in a proxy war with Iran.
No. Iran does not want a war with us.
U.S. military officials say more than 150 precision-guided munitions struck over 60 targets at nearly 30 locations, including command centers, missile and drone launch sites, and air defense systems.
Dozens and dozens of targets struck, again, intended to degrade and disrupt the capability of the Houthis to conduct these kinds of reckless and illegal attacks.
In Yemen, thousands of demonstrators turned out in the capital, burning American and Israeli flags. Targeting ships in the Red Sea since November, the Houthis have said they were avenging Israel's offensive in Gaza against Hamas.
The Houthis are targeting ships that have no connection to Israel in any way, ships that, truly have nationalities from 50 or so countries from all around the world.
The U.S. Navy warned American ships to stay out of the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden for 72 hours. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
And the U.S. government has confirmed Iranian forces themselves seized an oil tanker off the coast of Oman carrying U.S.-sanctioned crude oil, raising tensions even further between American forces and adversaries in the region. Back in the U.S., stocks were mixed Friday, but ended up closing the week higher. NASDAQ showed the biggest gain for the week at 3.1%, while the Dow and S&P 500 showed incremental gains on the week. Here's a closer look at Friday's numbers. Dow lost some ground yesterday, down 118. NASDAQ gained 2.5 and the S&P gained 3.5. Well, time now is 8:09. Still ahead, how some Packers fans' hopes to fly to Dallas for tomorrow's game were squashed. Plus, you're going to take a live look over at the Wisconsin State Capitol. Jacob will have your full forecast just ahead on Weekend Mornings.
Donate blankets to our neighbors in need during Recycle the Warm.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're 4imprint, and we know your logo on the right product can create moments that matter. With 30 years of experience and thousands of products to choose from, we guarantee your order will be right the first time, on time, and for a great price. Be certain that the right moments will matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
At US Cellular, anyone can get any phone free. So give yourself a free phone from US Cellular.
She's here.
Then give yourself the gift of not checking it. The gift of connection at US Cellular. New and current customers get any phone free.
There's no telling what the next Wisconsin Lottery scratch game will bring. It's Miss Pac-Man, the new $3 instant scratch game based on the classic arcade game. Scratch each start position in the grid and follow the directions of the symbols. If your path runs into a bonus symbol or ends at a prize spot, you could win up to $30,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are you'll like them.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Thanks to Sky Rizzy, I'm on my way with clearer skin. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Sky Rizzy is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Sky Rizzy. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, with the snowfall we saw from this system and the system earlier in the week, we certainly have had plenty of snowfall this week. And let me show you just how much snow we have accumulated back here on our weather patio. So this is combining Tuesday's system with today/yesterday. If I put my foot in all the way down, it's hard to even get to the bottom. If I look down, there's still some white. It is just under my knees. So we have had well over a foot of snow this week, and it's still snowing at the moment. So let's take a look at the forecast. With the 3 things you need to know, we are going to see some more snow today, especially blowing snow. But after today, there's not much in the forecast in terms of snowfall. but we are going to see that bitterly cold weather starting, honestly, starting this evening, but especially during the day tomorrow. So looking at the current radar, we are still seeing some snow showers, especially around Dane County and areas just to the east. These are expected to continue for a few more hours. Now, looking at the wind chills bulletin, we are under a wind chill advisory for the morning hours tomorrow. This is for our entire area, and we could see wind chills as low as 25 to 30 degrees below zero, and this could cause frostbite in as little as 30 minutes. So it is going to be a chilly one tomorrow, and it's not just going to be tomorrow. It's going to be for a good chunk of next week. So we have alert day. We have an alert day from Sunday morning through Wednesday morning, as the actual temperatures will likely drop into the teens. Wind chill values could drop into the negative 30s. High temperatures may be near zero, so even the afternoon, we may see those temperatures stay below zero. It is going to be cold. But looking at the snowfall forecast, we're not going to see much going on today, mostly in the form of blowing snow. So even after the snow is done falling, we may still see the roads become snow covered with the wind picking up and it blowing all that snow onto the road. So just be prepared for that. But as far as the falling snow goes, you know, we could see some snow showers during the morning and then again during the evening, but we're not going to see much accumulation going forward. And by the time we get to the overnight hours, we are expected to see dry conditions by then, possibly even sunshine by tomorrow morning. But take a look at those temperatures, likely dropping below zero. And here's a look at the wind chill forecast. You know, not too bad right now. It's definitely pretty cold, but by the evening, we could see the wind chill values already below zero, and by Sunday morning they are going to get very cold with wind chills in the negative 20s. And then as we head towards Monday morning, it's going to be even colder with wind chill values possibly in the negative 30s. This is also the case for Tuesday morning, and as you notice, the afternoon wind chills are still going to be well below zero, likely going to stay in the negative teens during the daytime, as the morning wind chills are going to be very dangerous, where we could see frostbite in 20 to 30 minutes on exposed skin. Now, if we look at Wednesday, it will get a little bit warmer, but still seeing those wind chills well below zero. And then finally, as we get into Thursday, it's going to be a little bit of improvement, but still brutally cold. So here's a look at the high temperatures the next 10 days, right around zero for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then in the teens for the end of the week, but still well below average for this time of the year, with the average high being in the upper 20s. So here's a look at the 10-day forecast. Fairly dry for next week with very cold weather to start the week, a little bit better to end the week, but still very cold. And then by the following week, that Monday looks to be a little bit warmer with temperatures back near average.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We are going to go back out to our live drive now with photojournalist Mark Schilling out on the roads in Madison. Mark, what can you tell us about the latest conditions you're seeing out there on the Beltline?
Well, I couldn't quite make it to the Beltline. What I'm doing right now is merging onto Verona Road again. When I turned around in Verona, I was checking out McKee Road, which is pretty well plowed, actually. And then you look side to side on the side streets, and you know they've yet to be touched, of course, because we've got to prioritize these big ones here. But you do see as I get onto this expressway here that I'm going to have to navigate through some chunky stuff and take it easy and watch the person in front of me, and hopefully they're watching behind me, and making sure that I got room to get in there without startling anybody. And that's kind of the thing, is just, we're all in this together, so watch out for each other. Back to you, Kyle.
All right, thank you so much, Mark. And we're going to now go up north to La Crosse. This is a view from the News 8 Now WKBT TV Skycam at the studios there in La Crosse. There's a snow emergency right now in place for La Crosse. That's a windy camera up there. Just like for La Crosse, just like for many other places, there is a snow emergency now. Enforcement of alternate side parking began at midnight and will expire Monday at midnight. Viewers tuning in this morning from the Coulee region can find the latest updates on news8000.com. And in other news from around the state, the Packers have a big game tomorrow, playing the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card round of the playoffs. But Friday's winter storm may travel tricky for some cheeseheads trying to get to Texas. Seeing snow in the forecast, one pair of fans said they rescheduled their flight to Dallas to avoid the snow, but it got delayed due to high winds and not here, but Texas.
It should be Milwaukee. That's probably the issue that we're not leaving, is my thought, but it was Dallas having too much wind.
After the delay, passengers who were on the plane had to face another delay and an eventual cancellation. Aviation officials said it's best to download your airline's app for updates on your flight status in real time. And the issues at Milwaukee's Mitchell International Airport continued through the day. Nearly 40% of the flights scheduled Friday were canceled. More than 200 United and Alaska Airlines flights have also been canceled each day this week due to the grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets. Last Friday, a door plug on one of the planes flew off at 16,000 feet, leaving a gaping hole in the side of the plane. Well, next year on Weekend Mornings, Jacob will check in with another update on the winter storm. Plus, it's a good day to stay inside. There are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will Loper shares his picks in 3 things to watch when we return.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
When it comes to what's best in a mattress,
Big ol' springs,
memory foam,
springs,
foam. Denver Mattress says, why not both? Introducing the Doctor's Choice Hybrid with the cooling full body comfort of gel memory foam and individually wrapped coils featuring Boss technology. All packed in this easy to manage box. Choose from the luxury firm, Plush, and Eurotop. And rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. The Doctor's Choice Hybrid, exclusively at Denver Mattress.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up. I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And the majority of people experienced long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Whoa. How do they get these things to smell so good?
Hefty, hefty. Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Must be magic. Hefty Ultra Strong with Fabuloso scent.
Only at Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. That means your priorities are ours, too. Our retirement tools and advice can help you leave a legacy for the ones you love. That's the value of ownership.
Here's a look at some of our weather photos of the day. This first one was sent in by Neve, Gwen, Ben, Abby, and Keaton, showing them enjoying the snow. I have to say, the snow was a very good packing snow, so I'm guessing a lot of the kids enjoyed the day off and playing in it. So thank you for submitting that photo. And the second photo was sent in by Philip, showing pretty much whiteout conditions. Now, the snowfall on Tuesday, that snow really stuck to the trees. The snow yesterday, not quite as much, but that snow on Tuesday hasn't gone anywhere, so it still looks like the snow did accumulate on the trees just a little bit. So thank you, Philip, for submitting that photo. And this last one was sent in by Kelly, showing their front or back porch pretty much completely covered in snow. So thank you, everyone, for submitting your photos. And if you would like to submit your own photo, you can through our website, channel3000.com. Click on the weather tab, scroll down until you see post your own. It's as simple as that.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. Now, if there was ever a day to stay inside and watch some movies, today is the day. And good news, there's no shortage of content streaming right now. Our Will Loper shares a few of the best in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
Whose land is this? My land.
Newly streaming on Apple TV Plus is the film Killers of the Flower Moon.
The Osage, their time is over. We got to take back control of our home.
The film details the murders of the Osage in 1920s Oklahoma and features one of the best performances of the year by Lily Gladstone as Molly Kyle.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
We have so many deaths, we've lost count.
It's just bad luck. Seems more like an epidemic than bad luck to me.
Killers of the Flower Moon is streaming on Apple TV Plus now.
Expecting a miracle to make all this go away. Don't be afraid.
Newly streaming on Disney Plus is the series Echo.
You have so much pain in you. You. So much rage.
The Marvel show follows Maya Lopez, or Echo, after the events of the show Hawkeye, as she returns home to evade the pursuit of big bad guy Kingpin. All 5 episodes of Echo are streaming on Disney Plus now.
Okay, guys, listen up. Our next score is going to be our biggest yet.
Nice.
And newly streaming on Netflix is the film Lift.
What's your plan?
We got to steal it mid-flight, 40,000 feet in the air.
Kevin Hart stars as a thief pulling off a heist on a vault in a plane.
It's treated like any other lift. We need to blend in.
Too much?
Are you going for Gandalf the Grey?
Lift is streaming on Netflix now. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for Weekend Mornings.
And coming up next, a look at our top morning headlines. Stick with us. This is Weekend Mornings.
Come on, Michael, come on. Catch the ball! Huddle up! Do you need to get your eyes checked? Well, actually, here's the play. Stanton Optical makes glasses in 30 minutes. It's easy on 3. 1, 2, 3. Easy! Hut! Come on, Michael, you got this! Come on, turn! Michael, catch! I can see! You did it! I did it! 30-minute glasses? Now that's an easy play. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Winter's here and here to stay, so it's time to stock up on cold weather essentials at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Stay toasty with unbeatable prices on insulated boots, outerwear, thermal layers, wool socks, and a great range of home and garage heaters. Keep animals comfortable with heated equipment, de-icers, and livestock bedding. Plus, stay safe on the go with trusted brands of tires and batteries, portable jump starters, ice scrapers, antifreeze, and more. Trust the cold weather experts and find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Sometimes it takes a different approach.
Okay, that's Mrs. Johnson, right? Great.
To see the possibilities all around you.
Almost 10. You gonna have a big birthday party? Right, you feeling okay?
With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath format, you can earn your nursing degree without putting life on hold. Imagine your future differently with Capella University.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis takes you off course, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When I wanted to see results fast, Rinvoq delivered rapid symptom relief and helped leave bathroom urgency behind. Check.
When UC tried to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC caused damage, Rinvoq came through by visibly repairing my colon lining. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands that helps you get the most for your money so you can be any traveler you want to be.
You could be a free hot breakfast hero at a comfort hotel.
Yes! That's how you waffle!
A romantic weekend escaper at a Cambria hotel. Or Mr. Get the Party Started. Hey!
Be a pool lounger or a big room relaxer. With 22 brands and the best value for your money, Choice Hotels has a stay for any you. Book direct at choicehotels.com, where travels come true. Gotta get the corners.
Now at 8:30, as the latest winter storm to hit Wisconsin weekends, thousands are now trying to dig out, plus tips on how you can stay safe.
And as soon as the snow ends, the temperatures will plummet. I'll talk about just how cold it will get coming up.
Plus, residents without gas in Beloit following a leak and fire Friday, what city officials are saying this half hour. Good morning, thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings. I'm Kyle Pazorski. It is Saturday, January 13th. Let's begin this half hour by taking a look outside with Jacob Montesano for your Saturday forecast. Jacob, staying warm out there, I hope.
Shining just a little bit just behind me. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but despite that, the snow is still falling down pretty lightly, and this may happen throughout the day. Now let's talk about how much snow we've seen so far. Here's a look at some of the snowfall reports, and if you notice, based on some of the reports, they're kind of spread out. We have reports in the southwestern portion of the state, some reports further up north, and also some reports in the northeastern portion of our area. So our entire region saw plenty of snow yesterday, and the snow continues to fall at this moment. Now here's a look at some of the snowfall reports across Dane County, right around 10 inches for much of the area. The 7.3 report in Madison was at 6 p.m. last night, so my guess is that the snow there is a little bit more than that. Now here's a look at the current radar. Still seeing some snow showers, especially for Dane County and areas to the east. Could see an additional inch of snow, especially for places such as Jefferson and Dodge counties, but for the most part, we're not going to see a lot more falling snow, although blowing snow will remain a hazard during the afternoon hours. So if we look at the current road conditions, pink is snow covered and blue is slippery. But because the snow was going to be blowing around a lot today, even after the snow is done falling from the sky, we may continue to see some hazardous road conditions due to that snow blowing onto the road. So just be prepared that we still have the alert day today, especially during the morning hours for the blowing snow. And there's actually a winter weather advisory in effect until noon because of the threat of blowing snow. Now, as we look at the forecast, as far as falling snow, we're not going to see much today, but the temperatures are going to fall during the afternoon hours, and it's going to be much colder tomorrow. I'll talk more detail about that coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Now, as we continue to cover the latest snowstorm affecting Wisconsin, a reminder, if you have a sidewalk in front of your home, you are responsible for clearing it. In Madison, the city says today could be the deadline to clear snow from the sidewalks, depending on when it stops, that is. With temperatures soon dropping into the single digits and below, it is in your best interest to do it sooner rather than later. A News 3 Now crew caught up with some snow shovelers Friday afternoon who did not miss the workout.
This sucks. This sucks. The wet snow is a heart attack snow, and the rest of it's just a lot of snow. So it's no fun.
I would have to echo those comments. Free sand is available at several locations around the city to help you protect your property this winter. To see where, just visit cityofmadison.com. And for snow removal regulations in other parts of the state, be sure to check with your local government. Pet owners should take precautions to keep their furry friends safe in these extremely cold temperatures to come. When it gets as cold as it's going to get starting tomorrow, your dog could be at risk of hypothermia. According to the American Kennel Club, symptoms of mild hypothermia include shivering and curling up for warmth. Symptoms of severe hypothermia include rapid breathing followed by slower and shallower breaths and sluggishness and paleness. This upcoming frigid cold stretch will also be hard on your vehicles. AAA recommends making sure your tires are inflated properly and have plenty of tread. During the colder months, the rims could start to corrode, causing your tires to deflate. You should also have nothing less than half a tank of gas in your car at all times. And don't use cruise control at all while it's snowing or when icy conditions are present. And lastly, keep an emergency kit of cold weather gear in your car. Just some good tips this morning. Speaking of cars, photojournalist Mark Schilling is out on live drive duties this morning. Mark, where are you at this point in the morning?
I am westbound on the Beltline around Whitney Way. I checked out some other streets while I was going eastbound, and you can see right now the Beltline is pretty clear. The on-ramps and off-ramps have a little chunkiness to them, and when cars are merging, I hope that you'll give them grace and slow down or move over a little bit to give them time to get up onto this expressway here. I also checked out Park Street, and it, like Raymond Road, was a lot of packed snow. It was drivable, but you're driving on top of a packed chunk of snow, and it's going to be a little slick getting around there, so you got to take time on that as well. And I've also noticed that the skies are clearing up, and I don't see any particular snow right now, so maybe the plows will get caught up a little bit. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mark, for going out there. Stay safe. Now we're going to follow up on some news out of Beloit, where more than 850 homes were left without gas service Friday night. Alliant Energy officials say a gas leak prompted that service to be shut off. There's no word this hour if it has been restored to all affected homes. Earlier in the day, a large fire broke out at a building storing tires, causing hazardous air conditions. Residents in the area were then evacuated to a nearby school.
First reaction was get out of town. Go ahead, and I am familiar with what they store over there, so I knew that the fire wasn't going to extinguish itself at all anytime soon. So we go ahead and pack the kids up and get them out of here.
The fire was contained. The focus later shifted to that gas leak, which has also been taken care of. However, again, since the service was shut off, Alliant Energy crews are required to go home to home to light each customer's pilot light before it can come back on. Staying in Rock County, a number of warming sites and overnight shelters are opening, and not just because of the storm, but also because of the cold temperatures that will follow soon. The shelters automatically open when forecasted temperatures, air temps, or wind chills drop below 0 degrees. Food and water are not provided. These shelters are solely just a place to get out of the cold. To see the hours and a list of locations, you can visit our website. That is channel3000.com. Now switching gears to an update from the state capitol. On Friday, a Wisconsin judge ruled Megan Wolf, the state's top elections official, is legally holding her position. It's a defeat for Republicans who for months have tried to remove Wolf from her role with the Wisconsin Elections Commission. Wolf has been the subject of conspiracies and targeted by election deniers who falsely claim she was part of a plot to rig the 2020 election in favor of President Joe Biden. Senate Republicans voted to fire Wolf in September, but Republicans later admitted in court rulings the vote to fire Wolf was symbolic and had no legal effect. Time now is 8:36. Still ahead, some Packers fans' hopes to fly to Dallas for tomorrow's game were dashed, and Jacob will check in with the latest on our weather. Stick with us.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're 4imprint, and we know your logo on the right product can create moments that matter. With 30 years of experience and thousands of products to choose from, we guarantee your order will be right the first time, on time, and for a great price. Be certain that the right moments will matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Whoa. How do they get these things to smell so good?
Hefty, hefty. Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Must be magic. Hefty Ultra Strong with Fabuloso Scent.
Only at Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. That means your priorities are ours, too. Our retirement tools and advice can help you leave a legacy for the ones you love. That's the value of ownership.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms.
But just okay isn't okay. And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling in RA and PSA, relieve fatigue for some, and stop joint damage. And in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
AbbVie could help you save.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Have a great night and do something good. I started saying it because I was just so tired of all the bad news in the world. People are out there doing great things. I've experienced it, and believe me, it can change your day. Tell us about the good you see. Go to Channel 3000 or post it using the hashtag #DoSomethingGood. I'll share your stories on News 3 Now. Our community is full of wonderful, giving people. Let's celebrate them together. Let's do something good.
So there is some good news going forward. If you guys are not a fan of the snow, we're really not going to see much after today. Now, the bad news with that is the snow that has fallen isn't going anywhere simply because of how cold the temperatures will be. It's certainly not going to melt. Now, as we look at the 8 to 14-day precipitation outlook, looking beyond the 7-day forecast, it does look like our area will remain at least near average, maybe even drier than average, especially in the northern portion of the state. It's still a bit unclear if we'll see a system or two towards the end of the month. But at this point, we're not expecting to see much snow going forward, but obviously we are going to see the cold weather. But after next week, it looks like the temperatures will be back near normal. It is important to note that the normal high for this time of year is in the upper 20s, but that is the coldest that it will get. Right now, the average high is at 27. It will stay that way for about 2 weeks, and then it will begin to rise again. So we are in the coldest portion of the year, and it does look like after next week, at the very least, we'll be back near average.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. Let's go back outside now. Live drive with photojournalist Mark Schilling out on the roads. Mark, what can you tell us at this point this morning?
Well, I got off the Beltline and it was, well, frankly, pretty smooth sailing as long as you take it easy and, you know, be mindful of any potential slick spots to get on there. And now I'm on Gammon Road, going by Elver Park, and there are people sliding down the hill already. Good morning to you. And you can see the snow is packed down. I mean, it has been plowed and cleared as much as it can, but you're still driving on packed snow, and that means you got to take it slow, and any little spot could be slick and get you into a spin out. So take it easy and watch out for other drivers too.
Thank you so much, Mark. You stay safe out there as you're kind of coming closer to the station. Thank you so much. And now we are going to be taking a look at some other conditions across the state. Actually, this is a look at some traffic this morning, the road conditions rather. The red that you're seeing there on the map, those are the ice-covered areas. Then the blue is snow-covered, and the purple is slippery conditions. You can see kind of to the north of Madison, it's getting more to the slippery, but like Mount Horeb, Janesville are really the areas where it is ice-covered, and those are the areas you want to take the slowest. So again, be mindful as you head out the door this morning to your Saturday errands. And now to some other news from around the state. The Packers have a big game tomorrow, playing the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card round of the playoffs. But Friday's winter storm made travel tricky for some cheeseheads trying to get to Texas. Seeing snow in the forecast, one pair of fans said they rescheduled their flight to Dallas to avoid the snow, but it got delayed due to the high winds, and not here, but in Texas.
It should be Milwaukee. That's probably the issue that we're not leaving, is my thought, but it was Dallas.
having too much wind.
Pretty unfortunate. After the delay, passengers who were on the plane were forced with another delay and eventual cancellation. Aviation officials said it is best to download your airline's app for updates on your flight status in real time. And the issues at Milwaukee's Mitchell International Airport continued through the day. Nearly 40% of the flights scheduled Friday were canceled. This on top of more than 200 United and Alaska Airlines flights, which have been canceled each day this week due to the grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes. Last Friday, a door plug on one of the planes flew off at 16,000 feet, leaving a gaping hole in the side of the plane. Well, still ahead on weekend mornings, how you can help out people who rely on meal delivery services during the winter storm. Plus, we're going to take another live look outside at the state capitol. Jacob will have another check of the forecast next on Weekend Mornings.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Everyone deserves a fulfilling job, but for people with disabilities, the barriers can be overwhelming. It's time to open the door to new possibilities. People with disabilities are getting the education, skills, and training needed to thrive in a wide variety of industries. And they're ready for an opportunity, a job, a career. Thinkability Wisconsin. All you have to do is start with yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
You've got this. Your big moment on their big day. The dress? Another one you'll never wear. Gift? Practical. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free overdraft protection transfers. So when you get invited to your third destination wedding in as many months, we'll be there with you.
When we first met Todd, we thought Jen was kidding.
You've got this with Associated Bank.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I feel free to bare my skin thanks to Sky Rizzy. I'm celebrating my clear skin my way. With Sky Rizzy, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. In another study, most people had 90% clearer skin even at 5 years. And Sky Rizzy is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Thanks to clearer skin with Sky Rizzy, this is my moment. There's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Sky Rizzy, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
We got the house! Pods handles the driving. Pack at your pace, store your things until you're ready, then we deliver to your new home, across town or across the country. Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Your logo can identify your company, inspire your customers, and energize your team. We're 4imprint, and we can help your logo create moments that matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, we're still seeing some light snow, but honestly, it's kind of hard to tell if it's actually falling snow or blowing snow. It is much lighter than what it was earlier this morning and certainly lighter than yesterday. Now, here's a look at the 3 things you need to know going forward. We're going to see some blowing snow today, but not much falling snow. And then after today, we're not really going to see much snow in general for the next week or so, but we are going to see bitterly cold temperatures, so the snowfall that is on the ground is certainly not going anywhere. Now, here's a look at the current radar. As I mentioned, still seeing some light snow showers, a little bit more moderate just to the east of Dane County. But for the most, For the most part, we're not really going to see a lot of snowfall for the rest of the day. Here's a look at future track. Cloudy skies for the most part. We could see some more snow showers develop a little bit later in the day, closer to the evening, maybe produce about an inch, but we're not going to see a lot of snow even during that time. But we are going to see the temperatures fall throughout the afternoon, and by tomorrow morning, those temperatures will likely be below zero, and the wind chills will certainly be below zero. We actually have a wind chill advisory in effect for our entire area from 3 a.m. to noon on Sunday for the central portion of the state and places closer to Iowa and La Crosse, also closer to Minnesota. That wind chill advisory will start at midnight tonight. So it is going to be very cold, and we have an alert day for tomorrow morning through Wednesday morning, as the high temperatures may only get to around zero, if even above zero, and the wind chills are going to remain well below zero during the afternoon hours. So here's a look at the wind chill forecast. Right now, not too bad. It certainly feels a little bit warmer than what these temperatures are reading. But as we get to the evening, possibly even before sunset, we could see the wind chills dropping below zero. And certainly by tomorrow morning, we could have wind chills tomorrow morning in the negative 20s. And it's only going to get worse as we head towards Monday and Tuesday. For Monday morning, the wind chills could be in the negative 30s. And that's also the case for Tuesday morning, with more wind chills in the negative 30s. And if you noticed, afternoon wind chills likely going to be in the negative teens. So even during the afternoon hours, it is going to be dangerously cold. And for Wednesday, a little bit better, but still well below zero. Thursday, we may finally start to see those wind chills get back above zero, but it's still going to be very cold. Now, here's a look at the high temperature forecast. Going to be right around zero for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then by the middle and end of the week, we'll have high temperatures in the teens, which is still well below average for this time of year. The average high is supposed to be around 27, and we're still going to be well below that even when the temperatures warm up for the end of next week. Now, it does look like towards the beginning of the following week, that Monday and Tuesday, it does look like temperatures will be back near average, but still pretty cold nonetheless, as it is the middle of January. Now, we really aren't going to see much snow going forward. We could see some snow showers linger today, especially the blowing snow. But even though we aren't going to see any falling snow, the snow on the ground, as I mentioned, certainly not going anywhere, certainly not going to melt away with these temperatures. This might actually be the time that the Lake Mendota and Monona freeze over, because still in a liquid form at this point. Usually we're frozen by now, but it's been a very mild winter so far. But next week is not going to be mild whatsoever. It is going to be very cold, likely going to see more wind chill advisories, if not wind chill warnings, for Monday morning and Tuesday morning. So definitely stay warm out there. It's going to be a cold one.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. Despite the weather, deliveries still had to be made for those who rely on meal delivery services. SSM Health's Meals on Wheels program stocks people up on non-perishable food at the start of the season, and they do this to keep as backup for days like these. SSM's program follows the Madison School District, wherein if the schools are closed, so are they. All the reason why early season preparation is crucial.
In the month of November, we start delivering our blizzard meals. Those are shelf-stable meals. They have things like chicken salad, tuna salad, soup, crackers, snack bars, juice boxes, things that recipients can just keep on their shelf, keep in their cabinets until they need it.
The Meals on Wheels program also works to check in on at-risk people, and that doesn't stop during a storm. Their volunteers give those who use the service a call to make sure they're doing okay. Dane County suspended non-essential public services Friday because of the storm, but other services like police, fire, and EMS are, of course, still available. Madison Fire actually increases their staffing on days like these, stationing extra ambulances on the west and east sides for quick response. And if you're worried about EMS getting to you through unplowed areas, they have that covered too.
Normally, we send an ambulance along for a medical call, but days like today, with events like today, we'll increase that staffing per call. So we'll be sending a big red rig, which would be an engine or a truck, along with that ambulance as well, just to increase the staffing and any needs that might arise of shoveling.
A few other reminders for you from the fire department are when you're out shoveling your driveway and sidewalks, make sure any fire hydrants near you are clear of snow 3 feet around them, and keep any vents to the outside of your house clear to avoid carbon monoxide buildup. All right, now some sports news. The UW men's basketball team is scheduled to play Northwestern later this morning at the Kohl Center. And there's a familiar name and face helping coach Greg Gard this season. He's added former UW basketball standout Kirk Penny to his staff. The 42-year-old Penny is a New Zealand native and starred at UW from 1999 to 2003 before playing professionally for 15 years. Senior Tyler Wall told our Zach Hanley during a taping of the Wisconsin Huddle that Penny has been around the sport for a long time and has a great basketball mind.
I think now he's in a position where he can relay that information, and he's done a really good job. Me in particular, I feel like he's given me some good pointers, good tips, and just keeping things consistent with my play, with my shot, and that's something that I've taken from him, and I think he's been really phenomenal for our team.
And hey, if you'd like to be a part of the audience at the next Wisconsin Huddle taping, you can just visit the Buck and Honey's location in Mount Horror Monday night at 6:30 to be a part of the action. And as it gets closer to the next couple days, remember to keep fireplaces. What the heck? That's the wrong script there. Anyway, coming up next, Jacob will be in with one final check of the forecast. Stick with us.
Hello, everyone. I'm giving this lamp away.
I'm interested.
Great. When can you pick it up? Hello?
I'm interested.
Can you pick it up today? Why did you message me?
I'd be interested.
Are you, though?
Yeah.
You bring lamp to me.
Save yourself the hassle of selling stuff online and donate it to the Salvation Army instead. Now accepting donations at our new Madison location, opening this February.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands that helps you get the most for your money so you can be any traveler you want to be. You could be a free hot breakfast hero at a comfort hotel.
Yes!
That's how you waffle. A romantic weekend escaper at a Cambria hotel. Or Mr. Get the Party Started. Hey! Be a pool lounger. Or a big room relaxer. With 22 brands and the best value for your money, Choice Hotels has a stay for any you. Book direct at choicehotels.com, where travels come true. Gotta get the corners.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up. I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And the majority of people experienced long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
The average cost of hearing aids is nearly $5,000, but now you can buy a full pair of rechargeable, wireless, nearly invisible, easy to use, and comfortable hearing devices for only $99, but only from Audient.
It's easy to use.
They're small.
A pair of $99 Audient Atoms can be sold over the phone without having to see a doctor or audiologist. Call to order.
1-800-617-3809.
Dabble is a refreshed television destination.
You got to keep it fresh.
Where the fun always flows and everyone is welcome.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Here's a final look at your forecast. Could see some blowing snow today, but we're not going to see a lot of accumulation going forward. Temperatures tomorrow are going to plummet. Actually, they're going to fall during the afternoon today, and then tomorrow they're only going to rise to around 1 degree. And then as we get to Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be very similar. Low temperatures well below zero, wind chills even further below, possibly as cold as -30 at times, -30 to 35 degree wind chills. By the time we get to Wednesday, still going to see that alert day with the morning wind chills in the -20s. A little better by Thursday, and then it's going to kind of stay in with highs around in the teens and lows around zero for the end of the week. And then by the following week, we are going to see warmer temperatures back near average. We also aren't going to see much snow going forward, but we also aren't going to see the snow that's on the ground go anywhere because it's going to be way too cold for any snow to melt.